Hello, and welcome back to the channel. It is Friday, December 12th, 2025. Can you believe we are already at the end of the year? Time flies when you are talking to a microphone in a dark room, right? Anyway, I'm your host, Nino-ani, and today I have dug up something really interesting from the archives. It is a paper that is making waves, or sound waves, I should say. We are going to dive into a trend article that tackles how AI sees, and more importantly, how it hears the world. So, let me introduce the paper we are looking at today. The title is Audio-Visual Models Towards Multisensory Imagination, Sight and Sound. The quote is Chat's Basic Point CF of 25.885. It is long. So let's break this down. You know how we talk about world models in AI. Ideally, a world model is like a simulation in the AI's brain. It helps the AI predict what will happen next so it can plan its actions. If I drop this cup, it will fall. The AI simulates that physics. But here's the catch. Up until now, most of these world models have been they focus almost entirely on visual observations. They look at pixels and try to guess the next pixels. But think about your own life for a second. When you are walking down the street, you do not just use your eyes, but you hear a car coming from behind you, or you hear your friend calling your name from the left. Audio gives us crucial spatial and temporal cues. It tells us where things are and how they are moving, even if we cannot see them. So, the problem this paper is trying to solve is pretty big. Existing AI models are missing out on half the experience. They have not really explored how to integrate audio into these world models, especially not in a way that lets the AI control its actions based on what it hears. There was literally no formal definition for one audio-visual world model, where one should even be, and there was no good data for it either. Most datasets were just videos with sound, but they did not have this. If I turn my head left, how does the sound change? That is called binaural audio, by the way. These researchers from Tsinghua University and the Beijing Institute of Technology, they decided to fix this. They created the first formal framework for this. They treat the world as a partially observable place where you need both eyes and ears. They even built a massive dataset called AV-Fork. It has like 30 hours of robot trajectories in 76 different indoor environments. And the cool part is, it includes binaural audio and reward signals. So the AI learns, hey, if I move towards this sound, I get a reward. Now, let me tell you about the tech they built. It is called AV-CDiT. That stands for Audio Conditional Diffusion Transformer. It is a mouthful. But the genius part is how they designed it. Usually, if you train AI on video and audio at the same time, the video is so information heavy that the AI ignores the audio. It is like trying to listen to a whisper at a rock concert. So, they created this thing called the modality expert architecture. They have separate little brains, or experts, for the visuals and the audio of the model. This balances the learning so the AI actually pays attention to the sound. They also used a 3-stage training strategy. They train the eyes, they train the ears, and finally, they train them both together to sync everything up. It is like teaching a musician to play the guitar, and teaching them to sing, and then finally letting them perform the song. Oh, it reminds me of a joke. I tried to make a world model out of Delhi once. It was a Bologna simulation. Did it? Because simulation and Bologna. Okay, moving on. Nobody ever gets my sandwich jokes. Anyway, let's talk about why this actually matters to you and me. When we care if a robot can hear, the applications are actually huge. Let me give you 3 examples of how this could change everyday life. Let's talk about robotics and home assistants. Imagine a robot in your house. Now, if you drop a glass in the kitchen and the robot is in the living room, it might not know what happened because it did not see it. But with this visual world model, identify it as glass breaking and pinpoint the location. You could simulate. My glass breaking means a mess. I need to go clean it up. It makes robots much more aware of their surroundings, just like a human or a pet would be. It allows for continuous cardiovisual navigation, which they actually tested in the paper, and it worked way better than just using cameras. Second, think about video games and virtual reality. This is a game changer for immersion. Right now, game audio is often just pre-recorded tracks triggered by events. But with this technology, the game engine can simulate a realistic audio environment in real time. If you are playing a stealth game, the AI enemies would not just have a cone of vision, they would have a realistic cone of hearing. You could predict where you are based on the faint sound in your footsteps echoing in a specific hallway. Or, the game could generate realistic 3D audio for environments that do not even exist yet, just based on the visual geometry. It creates a much richer, multisensory imagination for the game world. Third, let's look at accessibility in voice technology. For people who are visually impaired, this technology is massive. You could have a wearable device that acts as a smart guide, since the model understands how sound interacts with the environment. It could help users navigate complex spaces. It could predict the acoustics of a room. It could tell the user, play based on the echo. You are approaching a large open hall. There is a wall immediately to your right that bridges the gap between seeing the world and hearing the world, providing a much safer navigation tool that anticipates future states. Comparison-wise, this is a big leap. Previous models like Worlds or others mostly focused on just generating video or just generating audio separately. They did not include the action part. They could make a video of a dog barking, but they could not simulate what happens if you walk towards the dog. This paper, of them, is the first to really tie it all together. Sight, sound, action, and reward. It is not just watching anything. It is playing the game. It allows the AI to perform artificial reasoning. That means it can ask, what would have happened if I turned left instead of right? You can hear the difference in its imagination. The experiments showed that their model, AV-CDiT, achieves half-reality prediction. It means the video looks real and the audio sounds real and matches the video perfectly. They use metrics like log spec or distance for audio and frequency such and distance for video. Basically fancy math that says, this thing is really good at dreaming up realistic worlds. They proved that by adding audio to the planning process, navigation agents became much more efficient. They took fewer steps to find the target because they could hear it. It is kind of obvious when you say it out loud, right? It is easier to find a ringing phone if you can hear it ring. So, that is the gist of it. We are moving from AI that just watches the world to AI that truly perceives it with multiple senses. It is a step closer to robots that understand the world the way we do. I find it fascinating that we have to teach computers to listen. I know some people who could use a lesson in that too. Am I right? Just kidding. That is all for today's deep dive into the archives. I hope you found this paper on Akabio Visual World Models as cool as I did. It is 2025. And the future is looking and sounding pretty sharp. Thanks for tuning into my ramblings. I'm Nino-ani, signing off. Catch you on the next frequency. Bye bye.